Well, my buddies Ken and Hank sent us what appears to be a U-green external hard drive enclosure, and through the magic of video editing, I am going to open it. Whoa, how did he do that? Comes with a power cord, high-speed cable, and this, the main shebang. Protect what you love. Ooh. This is nothing more than a Seagate 12 terabyte hard drive. It's a 3.5 inch hard drive, and it just kind of slots in to this enclosure. That's all it is. The enclosure has a USB 3.0 connection and a 12 volt power hookup, and it's got some passive cooling. It's a decent U-green external hard drive, but what's more important is what's on the hard drive. And what is on this is a hyper spin attraction custom-curated 12 terabytes, which is, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of games on here. Pretty much every single game ever up until, I don't know, 2008. And then there's a smattering of more recent ones. But let's plug it in, see what we got. Let's watch this super cool intro video. Look at that coin. Anyway, while this is running, this has over 100,000 games. It has stuff classified by system, obviously, but it also has things classified by collections. And we'll go over that later, but basically, if I want to play all the Sonic games, there's a collection of Sonic games. So I can just go there instead of going to the different SEGA systems, which is pretty cool. Now this has games all the way back from the beginning to right now, and there are some Switch and some PC and some PlayStation 4, which are basically PC games on here, and I'm going to gloss over them briefly, but I'm not going to play them because I don't want to get arrested. You can go through the settings here. There's all sorts of cool stuff. There's different bezels, there's different system-specific bezels, there's shaders, you can do full screen, aspect ratio, all sorts of stuff. You can also contact them with those QR codes. Oh heck, let's start with some Atari. They got all the Ataris. Let's do Atari 2600. What we got here? Snoopy? Alright.
Loading.
Now loading. Alright, what do we got? Oh geez. Oh geez. Where's the bad guy? There he is. Sneaky son of a gun. Whee! So, obviously, if you have a cell phone or a graphing calculator, you can play Atari games. So you're in good shape if that's all you want. But this has so much more, like the original Nintendo. Ooh, Top Gun. My jam. Gonna shoot this guy down with my machine gun. I don't care about missiles. I don't want to waste them. Get over here. Get over here. Get him. Get him. Did the missile miss? Anyway, NES games on here are super cool. I almost immediately turned the bezels off so I could get the full screen experience, but you can leave the bezels on if you want. You do you, gamer. Oh heck, let's try some Game Boy Color. Wario. You can see you lose a little bit of the screen, but it's not too bad. And depending on what your monitor looks like, this should be fine. What do you want to try, Gary? Some SEGA. I think Sonic 3 is my favorite Sonic, at least the old Sonics. One of the cool things about these old pixel games is that they can scale up relatively well. It doesn't look god-awful on a giant monitor, especially if you throw a shader on there. Alright, let's see some Super Pretendo. What do you want to play? Ooh, Metroid. You guys okay, buddy? Crap. I suspect something bad has happened here. Oh, it's my little Metroid dude. How you doing? Boy, I sure hope no space dinosaur pterodactyl shows up. Crap. Crap. I jinxed it. Let's try some original PlayStation. His name isn't Newcomer. His name is Cloud, idiot. Haven't you ever played a video game before? Good lord. I go by X Soldier. I really like this CRT effect they have in here. Let's mix it up a little bit. We'll do... Oh, heck. What do you want? Game Boy Advance? Get wrecked. Game Boy Advance looks pretty good on here, and you can take advantage of your modern widescreen television. Or monitor, I guess. Remember earlier I was talking about collections versus systems? So we just went through a couple systems. Now let's go to a collection. Simpsons. I like Simpsons. So you would expect, you know, the arcade game, but they have every Simpsons game in this collection, practically. So you got these NES ones, you got Game Boy. I remember that one. There's a couple Game Boy games. A bowling arcade game? What? And then, of course, you have Road Rage. Ooh, Xbox. Heck, you guys want to try out Xbox? I wonder what Xbox emulator they're using. Let's check. Alt-Tab, and this is a PlayStation 2 game. You lied to me. You lied to me, KinHank. Let's try an actual Xbox game like Splinter Cell. Maybe they're just doing some cross-platform stuff. No, because Xbox doesn't have a PlayStation 2 memory card in it. Huh. Let's try 360. We'll try some Halo. See what we got here. Okay, promising. That's not English. Oh, and it crashed. Well, at least it's running Canary. Let's try it again. Swing and a miss. So maybe Xbox and Xbox 360 just ain't gonna work on here. Let's try some N64 instead. Let's cruise throughout the USA, Gary. Ooh, that looks really good with the shader on. Got that CRT scanline stuff going on. It's obviously upscaled. Oh, that's really nice. Whee! Whoop. Checkpoint as I murder that guy. Let's bump it up one level. We'll go to the N64 2, aka GameCube. Oh, let's try Custom Robo for Rapid. Get my clothes on, run outside. Where's the door? Where's the door? Nope, that's not a door. Oh no, it's my annoying landlady. Even though she's annoying and she sounds like she's in Charlie Brown, GameCube on here is a pretty cool experience. Let's try some PlayStation 2. What's a game I haven't played on PlayStation 2? Ooh, NBA Jam. There was an NBA Jam game for PlayStation 2? Oh, this plays real smooth right out of the box. Alley-oop? Literally get dunked on. Anyway, PlayStation 2, GameCube, all that stuff's gonna run fine. It's all dependent on what kind of computer you hook this up to, but for the most part, any kind of computer from the last, 5 years should be able to run PlayStation 2, GameCube very, very easily. Heck, let's do some PSP. Let's see how upscaled we can get this sucker. Alright, so it defaulted to 4X. I'll take it. Oh, Kratos is mad. He's mad at these guys and he's going to savagely murder them. I tell you what, super upscale PSP, widescreen, not too bad on a modern monitor or TV or whatever the heck you're using this on. Whee! Where are these guys coming from? I will say 3DS games are the only ones I've encountered where you have to extract the file.
Extracting file.
So super speed footage. It takes, like a minute to do that, and then your 3DS games play great. The one thing I will complain about, I couldn't intuit the buttons to switch screens around or to make a primary giant screen and a secondary small screen. It's probably in the instructions somewhere, but I just couldn't intuit. Everything else is kind of through RetroArch and the same general shortcuts work. I couldn't figure this one out without the manual. Almost certainly a zoo problem because I didn't want to read, but keep that in mind. Some of the higher end stuff, as we've seen with Xbox 360, a little shaky. Let's move on to some Wii. What's a game I haven't played? Ooh, Dragon Ball. Just like GameCube, you're using Dolphin. It should run fine. Let's go beat some people up with little baby Goku. Uh-oh. Some Fox gangsters. I'm gonna whack you in the head with my power pole. That didn't sound right. Wee! Wii. Here's where we start to get into the zoo is gonna get sued. So like Wii U, uh-oh, what's that? Breath of the Wild. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't want to show too much of this. I don't want to get in trouble. Nintendo has ninjas everywhere. Is that Zelda trying to wake me up, or is it the FBI shining a light through my window? I don't want to find out. Speaking of the FBI showing up, there are 62 Switch games on here, and I would assume Yuzu or other emulators that we're not allowed to talk about anymore. So I'm not going to go too in-depth or show any gameplay, but suffice to say, there's 62 Switch games on here, and they're not going to fit all of them just because size, but they're there. We also have some PS3 games on here, all sorts of PS3 games, and they're actual PS3 games. So God of War is going to load in a PS3 emulator. It's going to take forever because PS3 was the king of unskippable cutscenes, but this is hyper dependent on your computer. So if you have a really beefy rig you plug this hard drive into, your PS3 emulation is going to be great. You could probably stand to go in and manually update all the emulators it ships with, but stuff does work out of the box. It's just, maybe it's not as optimized as the version that came out, 2 days ago. And now we enter the super legally nebulous area of the game, where they just flat out have PC games on here. I'm going to slide through a little bit, not going to show any, because I feel like this is sketch. Now, you did pay for this. You bought this on Amazon, so technically you bought these games. Technically, Amazon provided you these games, so you did pay for them. So all your PS4 games on here are just Windows games. You might notice a lot of these games are familiar from the PC games we just scrolled through. That's because they are all, for the most part, Windows versions of these games. Now, this says it has PS5 games. It has 2 PS5 games, Elden Ring and Final Fantasy VII. But they're just Windows. They're just the Windows games. So just for fun, here's Elden Ring. Here's Zoo. Going to get bodied by some random monster because he's really bad at these Dark Souls type games. But I got a cool cape. Ain't that pretty? Look at that. Whee! Whee! Where's the bad guy? Oh, crap. What the heck is that? Another option is if you have a cool arcade box at home. Watch this video. You can just plug this in to whatever PC you have running in here. And now you got all your arcade games set up out of the box like that. You can also get this to ship with a pretty good GameSir controller for like an extra 10, 15 bucks. So if you don't already have a Bluetooth controller, there is an option where it ships with one. GameSir, really good brand. It comes with a little dongle. So if you have your USB stuff in the back of this machine, you can just put it in there and it wirelessly will connect. So I guess let's play some games. Before we get to what did we learn, I want to talk about the value proposition. This has a $25 coupon on Amazon right now, so it's $290. Take that $25 off. It's about $265. That's pretty pricey. However, you get a quality U-green hard drive enclosure. You get a 12 terabyte hard disk. Now those together are probably $100. So let's just say we're spending $165, $170-ish on all these ROMs. If you know what you're doing and you're not afraid to make all of these legal backup copies yourself, then that might be too expensive. If you want to just get it all over with and buy it, and technically you are buying these. You're buying these games, right? So any ethics, I feel like you might be able to wiggle around because you bought them. So for $265, you got all your games, you never have to worry about trying to find them again, and you got them backed up on an external hard drive. So for some people, that's a good value. So all that being said, what did we learn? Well, we learned that the KinHank 12 terabyte hard drive here is a pretty solid and cool piece of tech. It has over 100,000 games on it. You have pretty much every game ever, up to GameCube and PlayStation 2. You have a bunch of games beyond that. You have some, SpaghettiOs, I don't want to get in trouble with Nintendo and their ninjas kind of stuff. It has a ridiculous amount of arcade games, like games I never even heard of, games from China, games from Japan. If you're an arcade guy, you don't have to search for anything. Just plug it into your computer. Another cool aspect of this is the presentation. You have little videos of each game. You have audio for each game in the front end. You have all your box art scraped. You have all your data and your metadata about the games already there. It is very polished. It looks very nice. There's minimal setup. I think in the README file, there's like a DirectX thing you have to make sure you're running, and there's a font you have to install. Otherwise, you plug this thing into your computer, and it just works. You can get it without a controller, or you can get it with a GameSir controller, which, depending on if you have a controller, I probably wouldn't buy it with the controller. But if you want to get it as a combo pack, there is that option. I really enjoy it. If you are already deeply enmeshed in the hobby, you might not want this. But if you're just starting out, if you are curious about how to get games, if you're worried about the ethics or the legality of it, it's an interesting scenario because you are buying these games. How they got on the hard drive? We don't have to ask, but you bought the games. So that's cool, especially in this era of, oh geez, I don't want to do weird stuff online and get in trouble. If you want to spend 260 some bucks to get every single retro game, and some modern stuff, but that's kind of sketch, but every single retro game you're ever going to want, you already have them backed up on an external hard drive. You have a really slick front end with all sorts of cool custom graphics and videos and all that jazz, and it is relatively plug and play. So if you value all those things, I'd say, yeah, give it a shot, check it out, buy it. Worst case scenario, you buy it through Amazon, you buy it through the link in the description, you don't like it, it's through Amazon. I enjoyed it, I'm going to keep it around. It is now my repository of all possible games that I'm probably ever going to play. I did plug it in my arcade box, and me and my daughter spent a good hour and a half while there were thunderstorms the other day, just hanging out in the basement, playing old arcade beat-em-ups. I mean, heck, she just mashes the button. She did better than me. I think it's pretty cool. Depends on your situation, but if this is something you're interested in, heck, give it a shot. And if you like the video, heck, give us a like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Won't that be neat? Huh? Don't you want to be part of the fun? I don't know what we're going to do if we get to 100,000. Leave your ideas in the comments on what kind of video you want me to do if we get to 100,000 subscribers. Nothing illegal. I don't want to show my butt or anything like that. Just a normal zoo reviews video, but you guys get to pick the topic. And, oh boy, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.